I'm Evelyn Linwood. Welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, welcome. Y'all, this is my second time recording because my microphone was muted. Oh, that hurt. Anyway, today's video will be kind of goals focused. So I am going to go over my quarter two goals, as well as how quarter one went and whether or not I'm on track for my annual goals. Quarter one, depending how I look at it, was either a hot mess or a fantastic success. So, my goals for quarter one. Did I accomplish them? Absolutely not. I wanted to finish drafting Project Gold. I also wanted to finish editing Project King. If you've been watching my writing and editing vlogs, you know neither of those things happened. But I was stuck. I was having trouble creatively at all. And now I'm neither of those things. As for Project Gold, I was viewing it as something of a chore, something to get through, something that, I mean, yes, I loved the characters, I cared about the story, but I wasn't excited about the story, if that makes sense. Because the project that I wanted to be working on was Project King. Anyway, I have gotten through that. I'm in a completely different place where I am excited to write Project Gold. So that is a completely different thing. I've also kind of clarified my vision for the project, which is probably what pushed me from A to B. So I originally had, well, not originally, but I recently had 3 point of view characters, and I have reduced that to 2. And one of them honestly only has a few scenes, so really it's just Kira's story, with a little splash of someone else. For those of you who read book 1, Showing Silver, she was the protagonist in that one. And I am very happy with where I am in Project Gold. Anyway, I also wanted to do the maps for that book, and I didn't get those done either, which I could have done. That was just a me issue. I have a new, at least new to me, tablet, and I was trying to figure out which drawing program I wanted to use for that, and I was kind of just a little bit lost on the technological aspect of it, and I procrastinated. Not good, but that's what happened. As for the Project King goal, where I wanted to finish editing it, that was an actually insane goal. I should not have put that on my plate, period. It was too much. I couldn't have done both, even if I had perfectly executed, which I'm human, I'm probably not going to perfectly execute, but this goes back to the fact that I am time blind, and I tend to underestimate how much time tasks actually take. So frequently I will put too much on my plate. Especially when I'm making goals and it's the new year. This is always a quarter one problem. It's the new year and I feel like I could tackle anything. Oh, I can do it this time. New year, new me. Okay. So I didn't do that, but I did get unstuck in Project King. So I got unstuck in both projects. I got unstuck in general. So that's good. I'll take it. I didn't do the map for that one either, but same issue. I did keep up with my newsletter. I did archive my previous newsletters. I still have to archive February and March, but that's more of a ongoing maintenance thing than a not having gone way back thing. I kept up with my YouTube channel. I missed, I think, 2 videos, but both were for one was significant illness and the other was kind of an emergency, my husband was in the ER and I didn't have the time or energy for the video, so I bumped things back a week. Social media, I did that. I filed my annual report for my business, and I unpublished some generic journals. I call them generic journals. They just had kind of like graphical covers. They were empty. I didn't have them published under my pen name. I had them under my business name, but they weren't high enough quality. I didn't like them, so I unpublished them. Yeah. Okay, so that's quarter one. As for my 2026 plans moving forward, I do believe I am still on track to publish Project Gold by the end of the year, to have Project King almost complete, and possibly even the sequel to that one started. So I'm not concerned about my 2026 overarching goals. I actually think I'm pretty well on track for that. I had left a lot of cushion for myself because I knew that I tend to not do everything that I set my heart on for each quarter. As for quarters, I did mention this in my video at the start of the year. I'm working on a planning system called Cyclic Planning that I got from a YouTuber named Joshi Corinne. So the idea is you plan quarterly, which I did anyway, and instead of looking at months, you look at cycles. So months have differing lengths. There's 30 days, 31 days, 28 days. And for those of us with time blindness, that can make it harder to visualize where you are in the quarter, in time, whatever. So instead of breaking down your quarter by months, it is 3 cycles of exactly 4 weeks, and then 1 reset week per quarter. I did find that helpful. I find it helpful. Quarter 2 will run from March 29th through June 27th. So it's not exactly on the months, but it's pretty close. And then just when you look at it, it's a lot easier to kind of visualize time, which is definitely a weak point for me. I do have a quarter overview, but it's not really filled in yet. I did fill in this week. This week was a bit crazy. I actually didn't fill this in until today, which is Tuesday. And I only have, I think, 3 work days this week because yesterday I spent like the whole day taking care of my dog and cleaning up after her because she's sick. And we're seeing the vet in a couple days. So she seems to be doing better, but we'll see. So I don't know what's going on with Nova. Yeah. But as for, that was just kind of that's why my week looks so, there's like nothing on the week. I have to do my YouTube video, do my Instagram for the week, and then make progress on my book. That's literally the only 3 things I put. Yeah. But for the quarter, this time I thought to cover up the titles with sticky notes. Look at me, I'm learning. So these are my quarter goals, and it does look like, hey, you put an awful lot of stuff there. That's okay. Only the things that have the little firefly looking deal are the things that are actual goals. The other stuff is bonus things that I can start if I have time. So the actual goals for quarter 2 of 2026. Finish drafting Project Gold. That sounds familiar. But this time I do believe I will actually accomplish that. Hopefully in April, but definitely this quarter. Get the cover, which I'm already working with the cover designer. I am so excited by her ideas. And then my goal is to do at least one pass of my revision, because I would like to get it to draft 2 by the end of the quarter. And my editing plan, I'll do one read through where I just read, and then one read through where I put comments in. I sort my comments into categories. I do red for like structural issues, orange for what I'd call a plot issue, which is just like a plot hole or something, yellow for a consistency error. So for instance, if a character has blonde hair in one scene and then red hair in another, I will flag that with yellow. Green is a line level stylistic issue. Blue is character notes. Purple is setting notes. So typically the blue and purple is really what I'd focus on. Green is for later. But I do wind up doing some of the green. But so I will look for like structural issues, storytelling issues, and then for the character notes and the setting notes, it's typically just that I have not put as many details in as I should have, because I know what they're doing, but it didn't make it on the page. So, pardon me. Hi. Sorry for the interruption. I got a phone call. Anyway, I left off, I was talking about my comments system. So when I go back through, I do like a separate round for every color, usually. I say usually as if I've done it a million times. So far, that's what I've done. I think for one draft, I did like a couple different colors in one go, but yeah. So typically, at least in the limited number of times that I've achieved draft 2 of a project, it is longer for me than the first draft, because I am a little bit of an underwriter, at least when I'm drafting. I know some writers actually have to cut a lot of words. It just depends how you are. I might actually wind up cutting words from draft 3. But yeah. And then, so that is my goal for Project Gold. Project King is on my list, but it's not on my list as a goal. It's on my list as a bonus. If I have time to get to it, great. I would love to get through at least a few chapters, just so that it stays fresh in my mind, but I'm not putting it as like an actual goal. And the maps for both projects also fall into that second category, where if I get to it, great, but it's not a goal. It's not a big deal if I don't get to it. I have time in quarter 3. But other things that go on the actual definitely need to do it list: keep up with my newsletter. So that will be April 18th, May 16th, June 20th. Keep doing my YouTube videos. There will be 4, 8, 12, 13. But then I also plan to start an alternate channel. So I am gluten-free, not by choice, not even a little by choice. And I would like to put out some videos about that. So that won't be on this channel. I will start a second channel. And I'm not going to be posting to it regularly, at least not right now. But I do think that it's quite a thing to figure out a new food allergy. Well, mine's not technically an allergy. It's probably celiacs, but we don't have confirmation. Yeah, but that is, I think I would have found a channel like that helpful, so I would like to do that for other people. And then I also plan to keep up with my Instagram for author things, but that's not actually a goal. That's just like a maintenance thing that people do. And then I did mention in my video at the start of the year that I had started going to the gym. I have continued that, and I'm going to continuing that. And I've also added in a food journal that I'm keeping because I really am trying to address some health issues. And again, I'm not going to talk about that on this channel very much. You might hear about it when I do the next goal video, in 13 weeks, but it's not. It's something that I'm keeping more private. Yeah. Anyway, those are my goals for Q2. And I'm pretty happy with them. I do think I will have time for them. I learned from my lesson and am not planning to actually have 2 projects as a goal. Because that was a little bit much for me. Some writers genuinely can do that. Some people are so fast, it's wild. Sometimes the super fast people are using AI, which I would never use, but not all of them are. Some of them are just genuinely very fast creators. That is a thing that exists. They were doing it before 2023. They'll keep doing it. Yeah. So that is my goals. That's, I think, pretty much everything I wanted to share. If you guys have goals for the coming quarter or just for the year as a whole, I would love to hear about them below. Whether that's reading, writing, or just general goals. If you bullet journal, I'd love to hear about it. Do you do monthly themes? What is your theme this month? I will tell you mine. It is peeps. I just didn't want to show my actual schedule on the internet for everyone to see. Okay. But yeah, I have a little calendar. It's peep themed. I don't even like peeps, but I've been watching Meow Made Crafts, and she's been doing all these peep woobles. So yeah, I made my bullet journal peepee. Yeah, so if you bullet journal, tell me about your themes, or do you just do the kind of old true bullet journal method? What do you like to do about it? And I will see you next time. The next video is next Thursday, and it'll be more of the vlog style video. So I'll see you then.